Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I am so happy to be here with you today.
It is great to be here, and today is a little bit different for us, isn't it?
It is. I mean, usually we're digging into these massive, complex topics.
History, technology.
Big scientific discoveries, things like that. But today, we're zooming in. We are getting very, very practical.
Extremely practical. Today, we are looking at a guide called SkyHigh English. And, we're specifically looking at how to survive and maybe even enjoy a flight using English.
I love that title, SkyHigh English. It sounds so positive.
It does, like you're floating on a cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's be honest with each other for a second. Travel's not always floating on a cloud.
Oh, definitely not. Travel is stressful.
Think about the whole process. First, you have to book the ticket. Then you pack your suitcase.
You worry about your passport. I remember it.
Right. Then you get to the airport, and there are just long lines, security checks. By the time you actually get to the gate, your brain is, it's tired.
You're exhausted, and then you have this terrifying realization.
What's that?
I have to speak English now.
Exactly. That's the moment.
Yeah.
You're in a metal tube flying at 30,000 feet, and you need to communicate.
You need to ask for water or find your seat.
And if you're feeling nervous, your English skills can sometimes just disappear.
The words just fly right out of your head. It's happened to me.
Right. So our mission today is to fix that. We want to take the stress out of travel. We want you to feel confident.
Stress-free travel. That is the goal. So we're going to use this SkyHigh English source material as our map. We're going to go through the whole journey of a flight, step by step.
And we have 5 key moments to cover. We're going to talk about boarding the plane.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about getting comfortable in your seat. After that, the food, which is everyone's favorite part.
Or least favorite, depending on the airline.
That is very true. We'll also talk about what to do when things, break.
Like the little TV screen.
Exactly. And finally, a very important section on what to do if you feel sick.
So we're going to act as your personal guides. We'll look at the specific dialogues from the source. We'll unpack the vocabulary.
And we'll look at the politeness. That's a huge part of it.
It really is.
And we're going to keep this conversation very relaxed. We'll speak slowly. We use simple words. Because the best way to learn is when you're calm.
So, are you ready to go to the airport?
I have my boarding pass right here. Let's do it.
All right. Let's start with part 1, boarding and finding the seat.
Okay, so let's visualize the scene. If you can, close your eyes for a second. Unless you're driving, of course.
Please don't close your eyes if you're driving.
Imagine you have just walked down that long tunnel, the jet bridge.
And you step onto the plane.
What's the atmosphere like? What do you feel?
It's crowded. It's usually a little bit noisy. You can hear the engines humming. You hear people talking all around you.
And everyone's doing the exact same thing. They're all looking up.
They're looking at the numbers and letters under the overhead bins.
Right. And in our source material, we have a passenger who is struggling. They're holding their bag. There are people pushing past them from behind.
And they're confused. They see all these numbers and letters, but nothing makes sense.
I have been in that exact situation. You feel like you're blocking the way for everyone.
Yeah, that little bit of panic starts to rise in your chest.
So what do? You don't just stand there. You need to ask for help.
And the source gives us a perfect, simple phrase for this. The passenger says, "Excuse me, I can't find my seat."
Let's just stop right there. That is such a powerful sentence. It starts with 2 magic words.
Excuse me?
Yes. Why do we start with excuse me? Why not just say, help me?
Well, help me sounds like an emergency.
Exactly. It's a command. But excuse me is a signal. It's a polite signal that says, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I need your attention for a moment.
It's just the standard way to start a conversation with a stranger, especially someone who is working, like a flight attendant.
Precisely. And then the second part of the sentence, I can't find my seat.
Let's look at that verb, find, F-I-N-D.
To find something just means to locate it, to discover where it is.
Okay, I have a question. Why does the passenger say, I can't find my seat, instead of asking, where is my seat?
That is a great question. And where is my seat is grammatically correct. You can absolutely say it. But it sounds a little bit direct, a little blunt, maybe.
Almost like you're demanding an answer. Tell me where my seat is.
Yes. But when you say, I can't find my seat, you're explaining your problem. You're saying, I am trying, but I am having trouble. It sounds softer. It's more humble.
It invites the flight attendant to help you rather than ordering them to tell you something.
You've got it. So the flight attendant hears this. She sees a passenger who needs help. What does she say?
In the dialogue, she asks, May I see your boarding pass?
The boarding pass. This is the most important piece of paper or, QR code you have.
The source defines it as the ticket you need to get on the plane.
Sometimes it's paper, sometimes it's on your phone. It's always called a boarding pass.
So in this scenario, the passenger shows the pass, and the source gives us a specific detail. Seat number is 36C.
36C. Okay, let's decode this. Let's break it down.
Okay.
On an airplane, the number tells you the row. So 36. You have to walk all the way down the aisle to row 36.
That is usually way in the back of the plane.
Way in the back.
Okay.
And the letter C tells you your position in that row.
Right. So the flight attendant looks at the pass and gives clear directions. She says, your seat is in the middle on the right.
In the middle?
Oh, no. The middle seat.
I know. Nobody likes the middle seat. You're squeezed between two people.
The worst. But at least you know where it is now.
And she says, on the right. So as you walk down the aisle, the long hallway, you look to your right side.
And the passenger just says, thank you.
And the interaction is done. It's simple, it's quick, but it requires that little bit of courage to speak up.
Okay, let's do a little practice here. This is something the source really encourages.
Practice makes perfect.
All right, so for everyone listening, I want you to imagine you're on the plane, you're a bit lost, you see a flight attendant. What do you say?
Let's say it slowly. Excuse me, I can't find my seat.
One more time, nice and clear.
Excuse me, I can't find my seat.
Perfect. Just say that, show your pass, and they will help you.
Okay, so we found seat 36C. We put our bag in the overhead bin. We sit down.
We buckle the seat belt, that little click.
And now we're ready for part 2, comfort and amenities.
The source sets up a scenario here. You're sitting in your seat. The plane takes off. But after a few minutes in the air, you start to feel something.
You feel cold.
Planes are always freezing. I don't know why.
They really are. Or maybe you're just tired. It's a long flight. You want to sleep.
So you need some items to help you get comfortable.
In the SkyHigh English dialogue, the passenger makes a request. And I want you to listen to the structure here very carefully.
Okay.
The passenger says, excuse me, could I have a blanket and a pillow, please?
There's that excuse me again. That always works.
It never fails. But look at the question itself. Could I have?
Could I have? COULD. Why is this phrase so important?
Could I have is, it's the gold standard of politeness in English. It's the best way to ask for something.
A lot of beginners might say, I want a blanket.
And I want is okay if you're a child. For an adult, it can sound a little rude, a little bit like a demand.
Yeah, like, give me a blanket.
Exactly. And we want to avoid that. Could I have is so much softer. It shows respect for the person who is doing their job.
Okay, and let's look at the vocabulary words here. First, blanket.
A blanket. BLANKET. That's the cloth you put over your body to keep warm.
And pillow.
A pillow. PILLOW. The soft thing you put under your head so you can sleep comfortably.
So the full polite request is, could I have a blanket and a pillow, please?
Don't forget that, please, at the end. It's like the cherry on top.
The flight attendant in the dialogue responds very nicely. She says, of course, I'll bring them to you right away.
Right away. That's a great phrase. It just means immediately, right now.
Now, here's my favorite part of this whole guide. This is like a little secret code for English speakers.
I think I know what you're going to say. The polite rejection.
Yes. The flight attendant brings the blanket, she brings the pillow, and then she asks, is there anything else?
And the passenger says, no, I'm good, thanks.
I'm good.
This is such a useful phrase. Now, if you translate this literally word for word, it means, I am a good person.
Right. I am a kind and virtuous human being.
Which I am sure you are. But that is not what it means in this conversation.
So what does I'm good actually mean here?
It's an idiom. It's a casual, friendly way to say, I am satisfied, or I do not need anything else.
So it's another way of saying no thank you.
It is. But just saying no can sometimes sound a little bit cold or abrupt.
Imagine, do you want a newspaper? No, it's short.
It's very short. But listen to the difference. Do you want a newspaper? No, I'm good, thanks.
It sounds so much friendlier, more natural.
And the source points out that this is how native speakers talk all the time. It's very common.
You could use it in a restaurant, too. The waiter asks, would you like dessert?
No, I'm good, thanks. Exactly. It's a great phrase to have in your pocket.
Okay, let's practice this section. I want our listeners to say the request out loud. Imagine you're cold, you need a blanket.
Let's try it. Slowly. Could I have a blanket, please?
Good. And now, imagine the flight attendant offers you some coffee, but you don't want it. Use the phrase we just learned.
In a nice casual tone. No, I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. You already sound like a native speaker.
Okay, so now we're warm, we have our pillow, we are feeling relaxed.
But then you smell something cooking.
Ah, yes. The food cart is coming down the aisle.
This brings us to part 3, meal service.
The source calls this the best part of the flight.
I think that's debatable,
Yeah.
but it is definitely one of the most interesting parts.
It is, and it's a classic English lesson. The famous question.
Chicken or beef?
In her source dialogue, the flight attendant is very specific. She says, we have chicken with rice or beef with noodles. Which one do you prefer?
Let's look at that word prefer. Prefer.
To prefer something just means to like it better than something else. She's asking for your choice, option A or option B.
And the passenger chooses the chicken. They say, I'd like a chicken, please.
I'd like.
That sounds familiar. It feels similar to what we just learned.
It's very similar to could I have. I'd like is the short contracted form of I would like.
And again, we're not saying I want.
No, never.
Wow.
I want the chicken is too direct. I'd like the chicken is polite. It's elegant.
Then comes the drink order. In the dialogue, the passenger asks a question.
Yes, the passenger asks, what kind of juice do you have? This is a very smart question. Don't guess. Just ask for the list of options.
Yeah, and the options are the classics. Apple, orange, and tomato.
Tomato juice is so popular on airplanes. You notice that?
I see it all the time. I almost never see people drink it on the ground. But on a plane, everyone wants tomato juice.
There's a scientific reason for that.
Yeah.
The noise and the low pressure on the plane actually change your taste buds.
Really?
Savory things, like tomato, taste better and more intense in the air.
That is fascinating. I had no idea.
But in our dialogue, the passenger doesn't choose tomato. They choose apple juice.
But they add a very important little detail. Listen to this. Apple juice, please. No ice.
No ice. Two very important words.
Why is this so important?
The source highlights this as a cultural detail. In some countries, especially America, if you order a cold drink, they will automatically fill the cup with ice.
It's like a cup of ice with just a tiny bit of juice poured over it.
Exactly. But in many other countries, people prefer their drinks at room temperature or just cool, not freezing cold.
And there's a practical side to this on an airplane. The cups are very small.
They're tiny.
If that tiny cup is half full of ice, you only get maybe 2 sips of juice.
That's a very good point. If you say no ice, you get more juice. It's simple math.
Plus, you're already cold because of the air conditioning. Do you really want to hold a cup full of ice?
Probably not. So no ice is a very, very useful phrase for any traveler.
Let's practice it. Apple juice, please. No ice.
Simple and effective.
Okay, so we've eaten our chicken with rice. We've drunk our juice with no ice.
We are feeling good. We're comfortable.
But then, disaster strikes. A problem.
This brings us to part 4, dealing with technical problems.
The source describes the scenario. Something isn't working at your seat.
Maybe you want to watch a movie. You plug in your earphones, but you hear nothing, just static or silence.
This is so frustrating. You have 10 hours left on your flight and your entertainment system is broken.
Now, a lot of learners of English are shy in this situation. They think, oh, I don't know the word for screen, or I don't know the word for audio jack.
So they just stay silent. They suffer. They just sit there and stare at the blank screen for the whole flight.
The source says, don't do that. Do not be shy. The cabin crew, they want to help you. It's their job.
But how do we explain the problem if we don't know the special technical words?
The dialogue gives us a universal phrase, a magic phrase. The passenger says, excuse me, I think my earphones are not working.
Not working.
That's it. That's all you need to say.
So you don't need to say it is broken. You don't need to say it has malfunctioned. Just not working.
Right. My screen is not working. My overhead light is not working. My seat won't recline. It's not working.
It covers everything. It's so simple and so useful.
And notice the passenger says, I think my earphones are not working.
That's a nice, polite touch. It softens the complaint. It's not aggressive. It's not an accusation. It's just, I think there might be a problem here.
The flight attendant hears this and she says, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me get you another pair.
Another pair.
A pair just means 2 things that go together. A pair of shoes, a pair of gloves, a pair of earphones.
So another pair means a new set, a replacement.
And just like that, the problem is solved. All because the passenger spoke up politely.
So for everyone listening, please remember that phrase. Excuse me, it is not working.
Okay, we are now in the final part of our flight journey.
We've handled the food, the comfort, the technology, but now we have to handle our own bodies.
Part 5, medical needs and sickness.
Flying can be hard on the body, the pressure changes, the turbulence, just the movement.
Some people get sick. It happens. It's very common.
This scenario in the source describes a passenger who is starting to feel unwell. Specifically, they're feeling dizzy.
Dizzy. D-I-Z-Z-Y.
What does that word dizzy mean exactly?
It's that feeling when the room feels like it's spinning around you. You feel unsteady, like you might fall over.
It's a very common feeling on planes, a part of motion sickness.
So the passenger signals the flight attendant, says, "Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit dizzy."
And then they make a request for medicine. They ask, "Could I have a motion sickness pill?"
Motion sickness, that's the specific name for the sickness you get from travel, in cars, on boats, or on planes.
And a pill is just the medicine, a small tablet.
Could I have a motion sickness pill?
Look at that! We're using could I have again. It really does work for everything.
The flight attendant responds immediately. In any medical situation, they are very serious and very fast. She says, "Of course, I'll get you some water too."
And the passenger adds one more small request. They ask, "Can I also have some hot tea?"
Hot tea is very good for the stomach. If you feel sick or nauseous, hot tea can really help to calm you down.
The attendant says, "Certainly, I'll bring it right away."
There's that phrase again, right away. We heard it with the blanket, but here it is even more important. If you are sick, they will help you fast.
So the big lesson here is, do not suffer in silence. If you feel dizzy, if you feel hot, if your stomach hurts, tell someone.
You can use that simple structure. "Excuse me, I am feeling," and then say your symptom.
I am feeling dizzy. I am feeling sick. I am feeling hot.
They are trained to help you with these things. You are safe.
Wow. We have really gone through the entire flight experience from start to finish.
We have. We boarded the plane. We found our very difficult seat.
36C, the middle seat.
36C. We got warm with a blanket. We ordered our chicken and rice. We fixed our broken earphones. And we got medicine for our dizziness.
It feels like a lot, but when you break it down into these 5 moments, it's just a few key patterns and phrases.
Let's summarize the main takeaways in our outro. What are the big ideas to remember?
The source material gives us some golden rules, and rule number 1 is the most important.
And what is that?
Stay calm.
Yes. This is everything. When you panic, you forget your English. The words disappear. When you are calm, you can think clearly.
So just take a deep breath. You can do this.
Rule number 2 is politeness.
We talked about this a lot. Please and thank you.
Excuse me. Could I have? I'd like.
These words are like magic. If you use them, the flight attendants will want to help you. They'll be on your side.
And finally, the source's motto, practice makes perfect.
We practiced a little bit today, but please don't stop here.
No. Listen to this deep dive again. Before your next trip, put your headphones on in your room and say the phrases out loud.
Say, "I'd like the chicken, please." Say, "No ice, please."
Get your mouth and your brain used to the shape of the words. That muscle memory is a real thing.
Whether you are traveling for business or going on a dream vacation or visiting family, we really hope this guide helps you.
We want you to feel confident. We want you to enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Thank you so much for listening to this deep dive into Sky High English.
It has been a real pleasure being your co-pilot today.
Safe travels, everyone.
Safe travels.